What's up? It's Nick Giuliano. We're here, Hot 106, Angelica Vila in the building.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Welcome to Providence, Rhode Island, New England.
Yes.
Big single out right now, More in the Morning. Let's talk about it. What does it mean to you?
I mean, it's a little freaky. It's a little freaky song. I mean, that song means a lot to me, actually, because it was actually one of the first songs that I recorded when I first got signed with Joe. And I was like 17, 18.
Well, I like that the song was released into the spring and summer because it really has got that vibe. Is that something that you were conscious of making the song?
Actually, it was supposed to come out earlier, but you know, execution is number one. And so we were just trying to make sure that if we release it, it's going to be right. So we was, you know, making sure that we had the right choreographer, and that was actually Jamaica Craft. She's really big in the choreography industry. Mike Ho, he's a really big director, and everything just took its time. It was a process.
This song produced by Cool and Dre, who
Yes.
we all know. So how did that collaboration come about? I'm sure Fat Joe had a little bit of a hand in it.
Right. So
what was that like working with them?
So when I first got signed with Joe, the first trip that we had took was to Miami. It was like for like 2.5 to 3 months, and I was in there working every single day to the point where it was like, if I pass out, I'm waking up and be like, okay, what we working on now? Oh, let's catch up on what we was doing last time. So that first week, the song got played for me. So it was kind of already almost complete. And then as I was recording it, I I was rewriting it with the person who gave me the song. And then Joe, he put his little, his little spin on it with the second verse. And, yeah.
So whose idea was the sample?
Cool and Dre's.
Okay, so perfect, just like that. When you heard that for the first time, that was going to be part of the song, right? Because it's so identifiable.
Right. I mean, they were talking about it in the studio, and I had did my research, and I was like, oh yes, whoa.
So you've been out performing this song. What's that been like in front of a live audience and that reception to the song?
It's been good. I mean, we still working, we still growing. So like God willing, it explodes.
Sure.
It goes bigger than what it is now. But I'm very grateful for everything that has happened so far, because for this being my first song and 2 million views on my video, it's like it's
almost at 3.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Snap. I didn't know that.
Do my research.
I didn't know that. I try not to look at the numbers though, because that's not really my focus. It's really the creativity in the music and just making sure that the music gets heard.
So let's talk about you as an emerging artist. Obviously, people are getting to know you.
Right.
What's your background getting into the music industry?
So I mean, I started music when I was 10 years old, doing covers on YouTube. And then, time went by, and later on, Instagram came into the picture.
Sure.
Then they came out with the 15-second videos, and everybody by that time everybody was just on Instagram. And they came out with the 1-minute videos. And I'm like, I'm going to try to really grow a platform on here. And so my uncle, he's actually my manager. I started out with him, and, shout out Nick Sketchy. He said, yo, you should write your own, your own little freestyle. Everybody was doing their freestyles. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it out. I posted it on Instagram, and Pretty Lou is actually one of the hottest hosts in New York City. He had posted it on his page, and Fat Joe, he's close with him. He had seen it on his page, and he was like, yo, who's that? At the time, I was 17. And, Pretty Lou, he put the good word in. Joe came to the studio, and yeah.
So we talked about the journey getting to this point. You're signed by Rock Nation.
Yes.
Let's just pause at that. When that happens, what's that reaction got to be like?
It's so funny. Okay, I didn't know I was signed to Rock Nation the day they did the welcome meeting. Like, they surprised me. Everybody from Rock Nation and Tidal was there, and it was a surprise. I didn't know until the end of the night. It was, like, hey, welcome to Rock Nation. I'm like, I'm signed.
Yeah, you see that roster, and now your name is right along with it.
Yes. So it was a partnership through Fat Joe. And that's how that happened.
Well, let's talk about Fat Joe. We love him here at Hot 106.
Yeah.
You've been asked a lot about working with him. Why don't you tell us something that maybe you haven't told people yet? Like, what's it like maybe behind the scenes with him in the studio that people don't see?
Oh my gosh, that's what he says. That like, so his storytelling, and I guess I know that a lot of people who know him know that his storytelling is just the best. Because I don't know, it's just the enthusiasm, the emphasis, and just how he talks and how he tells the story.
When you are coming up Did you ever think that somebody like Joe would co-sign you, and now that you're in it, that's got to be a crazy feeling.
I never pictured it.
Right?
Like I always picture myself just going, and whatever happens is meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happens for a reason.
Law of attraction.
Right.
You like that,
right.
manifesting all that? I'm in it too.
I'm big on energy.
Sure.
Yes.
That's why this interview is going so well.
Yes.
So let's talk about some other things for you upcoming. So we mentioned a lot of big names. We mentioned a big company. You're doing a lot of big things. What other names are you looking to hopefully work with and for in the next few months? Who are you trying to get with?
I really want to work with Beyonce, Riri. I don't know if this is wishful thinking, but like it's serious. You know, I'm trying to work with Jay-Z, J. Cole. There's a lot of people. Janae Aiko, her, Ella May. I love a lot of people.
See, there's a reason I just did this, because we talked about manifesting. You put things into the
Exactly.
atmosphere, they come back to you.
You read The Secret?
Of course.
Yes. Go read The Secret.
And when this happens, you can check back here and say, this is why.
Exactly.
So you co-wrote this song, and I
Yes.
know that you're have been written for a while. So what's your writing process like for those that are just getting to know you?
So the way I like to write, like, and it's kind of weird, I don't like to write with a beat. Like, I just kind of have the BPM in my head, and I just, I kind of picture the beat on like how I want it to be, but I feel like writing without one, you could do really anything. Like, you could take it anywhere. You could, like, I don't really know how to explain it.
I think that's very interesting though, because a lot of the times you hear the beat come in and then people write over it, but you see it before you hear it.
I can do that. I just feel like it takes a little bit longer for me to write on top of a beat, just because I feel a little bit limited, rather than, you just write without a beat. You could go anywhere with it, and you hop in the booth and you just put the click on the BPM, and well, it's really called the metronome, and the engineer, he puts it at the same speed that you're singing in, and then you'll record it like that, but as a reference, and then come out the booth, and then I like when the producer builds the beat around my vocal.
I think that's cool though, because it's your words matched to the song rather than the other way around. But I mean, I guess both work, whatever gets that hit, right?
Exactly.
More in the Morning, out right now. So speaking of the new single, as we wrap up here, what can people expect? Album on the way, more songs on the way, touring on the way?
Okay, so I do have another music video coming out, have another single, and my project is already done, so stay tuned for that. It's coming really soon.